The video everyone has been waiting for, the Uranus Guide 2021. In this video, we are going to go over emblems, skills, builds, damage stacks, his passive, which is healing stacks, cutting the wave, positioning, and how to play the hero. Pretty much you're going to learn everything you need to know to how to become a pro Uranus. We're going to be using the support emblem. Now keep in mind, if you guys do not have a level 60 emblem, you're going to want to prioritize the second column, which is the healing, over everything else. And of course, you're going to want the last passive. So we're going to run 3 out of 3 in speed for an extra 6%. We're going to run 3 out of 3 in healing for an extra 10%, because that scales very well with Uranus's passive. And we're going to run avarice for that poke damage. It's going to give us a lot of gold towards the end of the game. Now on to the builds. There's 2 ways to play Uranus. You can either buy Talisman, or you don't have to buy Talisman. If you don't buy Talisman, you're going to go straight tank with no damage items. I don't think it's as viable anymore after all the nerfs, which is why I prefer the first column build, which is going to be Boots, Enchanted Talisman, Brute Force, Oracle, Antique, and Dominance. Now the last item, Dominance, it does give you 40% cooldown to cap off at, or you can replace it for Athena Shield if they have some hard hitting mages. Depending on the enemy that you lane against is going to depend on what type of boots that you buy. So first of all, if they have 3 or more mages, I would buy the mage boots over the physical boots. If they have an MM, you might want to consider buying the physical boots. Even if they have 3 mages and an MM, I would still probably buy the physical boots, because you can always buy Athena's later, and the physical boots just scale very well. So once you get the physical boots, you're going to want to buy Enchanted Talisman. This is the second item no matter what. Now the third item is going to depend on the enemy team comp. You can either buy Brute Force, Oracle, or Dreadnought. You don't want to buy full Antique because it costs a lot. You just want to get the Dreadnought item, which reduces their melee attack, especially if they have an MM. And just buying that, you're going to be really late into Oracle. And Brute's not bad before Oracle, because Brute gives a lot of movement speed. So you can either go right into Brute if they have, say, 3 or more physical heroes. You can go right into Oracle if they have 3 or more mages. Or if they have an MM, I do like to buy Dreadnought and then go right into Oracle and then buy Brute and finish off with either Dominance or Athena's. So definitely I'd stick to the first column for the builds. And like I said, your boots can swap, go Enchanted Talisman. You're going to want to prioritize Oracle. I like to buy Dreadnought, then Oracle, then Brute, and then Athena's or Dominance. And when I refer to 3 or more mages, I don't actually mean mages. I just mean enemy heroes that use magical attack, or so something like Kufra, or like, a mage tank, Esmeralda, stuff like that. Now on to Uranus's skills. The most important part of playing the game is going to be his passive. Every time Uranus gets hit, he regens roughly 8 points of HP, building up to a max of 20 stacks. Now when you play the game, it's very important that you never lose your stacks. You always want to be at 20 stacks, which is actually pretty hard to do. Now you can either save the stacks by getting hit by anything. So minion waves, jungle monsters, turtle, lord, towers, enemy heroes, anything like that. You're always going to want to be at 20. Now we're going to go over Uranus's first skill, which I like to call damage stacks. Every time you use your first skill and you hit an enemy hero, you're going to build a damage stack above their head. Every damage stack you have, your first skill is going to do 25% more damage. So just like his passive, you're always going to want to keep as many stacks as you can on your opponent. The max is 4, and it has roughly a cooldown of 7 seconds to hit them with your first skill again. So when you tag them, you kind of want to walk away a little bit, and then when your first skill is up, you want to move back towards them and spin again. That way you're building damage stacks, but you're not actually taking a lot of damage in the team fight. His second skill is actually a lot easier to use. It's just a simple dash, and now you can go over walls, and it's also a great way to save your healing stacks by either jumping to reduce that timer it takes to get hit on maybe a jungle mob or a tower, You can also jump to use your 1 to save your damage stack. So you can jump, it's a gap close, you can go over walls, and it actually does give you a shield. Now when you level up skills, I actually prefer to level up the second skill more because it gives you that extra durability, allowing you to kind of stay in the lane more and not having to go back. Bigger shield means you're more tanky. When you're more tanky, you can build more stacks on your opponent with your first skill. Now let's go over Uranus's last skill, the ultimate, the lifesaver, the literally best skill in the game if you can use it properly. The ultimate increases your healing and shield absorption by 30%. It also gives you healing stacks and it gives you movement speed. So a little combo I like to use for his skills is I like to pop the ultimate and then use his second skill. That way I get a better and bigger second shield skill. Now if you actually time this with heroes on your team that give shields as well, for example Angela, you can use the ultimate and say request backup or ultimate ready, and Angela will ult you on top of Uranus. Now this is insanely deadly, as if you already have Oracle, you pop your ultimate, you're looking at 60% more shield from Angela. That's almost 75% of your HP bar, depending on how many mage items Angela has, and you can use your second skill. And keep in mind, this can be combined with Matilda or Lolita or anyone really on your team that gives you shields. So by far my favorite skill and the most intriguing skill of Uranus. Right now I have 4 damage stacks on the Paquito. So my goal here is to not die while maintaining my healing stacks, while also maintaining my damage stacks on the Paquito. And look at that, 4 damage stacks, he goes right down to my first skill. Now I use my Purify here, I back up, I see Angela ulting me. Yet again, I have 4 damage stacks on the Minotaur. I know Angela has a stun, I can cut him right down, he's locked down, he's not going anywhere, 4 damage stacks on him, and he's dead. Notice during that fight, I also hit the Ling twice with my first skill, already providing damage stacks on him. So after this play, I finished both of them off. This entire fight, I'm maintaining 20 healing stacks, and that's why I managed to lock down those kills. Now let's take a look at this clip. I have 2 stacks on the Minotaur, I'm at 20 healing, and 2 stacks on the Paquito. I spin again, 3 stacks on each, Minotaur and Paquito. I have ultimate, I pop it, I spin again, 4 stacks on each. My 2 is up to save, 4 stacks on the Minotaur. I hit them twice with 4 stacks. I had huge damage coming in, and notice how I also popped my regen on top of my ultimate, so I get that extra healing on my ultimate. And I could even kind of predict Ling trying to either dash there or fly up on the wall. That's why I pre-dashed that minion, and look at that. We lock down the triple kill. That whole time, I'm at 20 healing stacks, and I'm building damage stacks, while also not staying right at the front line. I back up a little bit. I let myself heal up after taking some damage, while still applying my first skill. If anyone has any comments about the video or questions about the guide, let me know down in the comments section. If you guys want more tutorials on any hero, let me know as well in the live streams. I'm live here on YouTube and Twitch every day, and you guys know I love you.